Come all ye local heroes and listen unto me. Don't hire with any farmer till you know what your work will be. For you have to rise up early from clear daylight till the dawn, and you never will be able for to plough the rocks of Bunn. My shoes they are well worn, and my stockings they are thin, and my heart is always trembling for fear that I might give in. My heart is nearly broken from clear daylight till the dawn, for I never will be able for to plough the rocks of Bunn.
540, 550, 660, 670, 675, 675, 675, 675, 675.
The Wednesday morning cattle auction in the mid-Ulster village of Kilrea attracts farmers and dealers from a wide area. Men from Kilrea, Garva, Portglenone and as far away as Draperstown congregate here with the intention of buying or selling their livestock, just as their forefathers had done for generations before them. Old men tell of the nearby Fair Hill, which in the 1920s would have been a lively horse market, and around the Diamond area there would have been an abundance of second-hand clothes stalls. From the early 1800s until the 1930s, this part of the village in front of the town hall served as a dealing place for a different type of produce, for as well as the cattle, pigs, sheep and horses, men, boys, women and girls were also on the market here. Farmers requiring cheap labour would come here to engage workers on a 3 or 6 monthly basis. These were the days of the hiring fairs. Hiring fairs were held in most big towns throughout Ireland. Farmers would come from all parts to take on seasonal workers, whom they paid much less than full-time labourers. Most had small farms, and indeed were often no better off than the workers themselves. Sometimes 2 farmers shared the same hired worker, who would work for 3 days with one and 3 days with the other. For the townspeople, the fair was like a festival, with stalls and all the fun of the fair. But for the country folk seeking work, it was a time of uncertainty. They hoped for a good post and good pay. They knew that they would probably have to settle for less. They knew also that they would most likely not see their homes nor family again for at least 6 months.
I had a brother, he ended up in the Guards, and he was hired at 7 years and a half. And my mother went out over the mountain at Easter, on Easter Sunday, with a clean shirt and an egg for Easter. And when she went to the man's house, he was hired, and he was in the mountain, holding turf to the man who was hired, throwing him out in the brew.
At 7.5 years of
At
age?
7.5 years of age, and he lived a healthy man. And she come home with a broken heart
I'm sure of that.
when she seen where she got him on the Easter Sunday, when he should have been on home anyway, he only had over the mountain to come over with off fed. Now,
You know, the people of the country that would be far better than ever had been born around at that time.
Well, did you always know the man that was hiring you?
Sometimes you did, sometimes you didn't. You know the better when you done 6 months for him, eh? What do you think? At them times you didn't know no man. But when you served them, you know them better than 6 months. I'd be telling a lot of young fellas, and be sitting out here, I used to be telling them all about them things. They wouldn't believe me at all, it never happened, you know.
In our modern world of comparative comfort, It is difficult to understand why a mother would take 2 of her children to a hiring fair, destined to spend 6 months in virtual slavery with strangers whom she did not know. It must also be understood that in those days there were no government benefits, no unemployment benefits, no sickness benefit, and no family allowance. People simply worked or starved. Indeed, it was not unusual for people to die from diseases related to undernourishment, and while most people by this time were living in stone houses, the turf house or mud cabin was still a quite common habitation for the poor.